Welcome, everyone, to another educational session. I am your kidney health coach, Craig, and also the founder and executive director of the Get in Position Foundation. So, welcome all. This month, the month of March, is National Kidney Month. And all month, we have been doing educational sessions in regards to chronic kidney disease, how the kidneys function, um, what is chronic kidney disease, also what are some things to prevent chronic kidney disease. We've just been doing this all month in honor of National Kidney Month. Please share this link with your family, your friends, your loved ones. This is being recorded as well. And so you can go back and watch it and grab the information. And so I want to get started. Before I do that, let's do some promotional stuff first. Let's do that first. Um, we also have the Kidney Corner podcast. This actual education session is sponsored by the American Kidney Fund. I am a certified kidney health coach. It's also sponsored by the Get in Position Foundation, as well as the Kidney Corner podcast. One of the things about the podcast this whole month, we've had kidney patients, a series um, going on this month entitled "I'm So Sorry to Hear That." Our very first episode of the month was a caregiver. Shout out to Coach Andrella Woody, my good friend out in Alabama. Shout out to her, Birmingham. Shout out to her. Um, and she had a great episode as a caregiver. And but our series, I'm so sorry to hear that, is streaming now. You guys can take a look at that. Jacoba Talley is streaming now. His story just phenomenal. Um, Also, Lavita Barnes, her story, her episode actually released yesterday, Monday. We're so excited about that. The difference between her and Tally is currently on dialysis. Lavita, it has been diagnosed with stage 3, and if you guys have been following us, you know the difference between complete kidney failure and someone who has been diagnosed. So there's a difference between the two. And go check that out. Go to our YouTube channel if you're not already on our YouTube channel right now. But check those out. Those are streaming right now. Also, we're so excited that the audio version of the podcast, all of our podcast episodes are now streaming on the Apple Podcast app. And you can find us there at the Kidney Corner Podcast. Um, Next Monday, we're releasing a new episode 5. I'm excited about this release. Um, a young lady I met, and she's a kidney transplant recipient, Jasmine Evans, the epitome of an advocate. You guys got to see that one. You got to listen to that one. So I just wanted to get that out the way. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the fourth installment of our educational session. It is interactive, so hopefully individuals will join and ask some questions. So I want to get into this right away, right now. So Let me do this so you can see the full screen. Yeah, so the fourth installment, the fourth and final lesson is entitled Treatment for Kidney Failure. Treatment for Kidney Failure. Our very first installment or session was finding out what kidneys are, what they do. We also learned about what is chronic kidney disease. And then our third installment was, how to slow down the progression of CKD, what things to eat. We had a really, really great session last week, Tuesday. We had some interaction going on, which was really, really good. And so here are treatments for kidney failure. Let's get into that. Main treatments for kidney failure. The very first treatment is dialysis. I know many people have heard of dialysis. Going to the center, we'll get more into it, breaking it down as to there are different types of dialysis as well. I know some people, some individuals may not know what those types are. They are probably thinking there's only one type. But another treatment is kidney transplant. Yes, I am. First and foremost, I was on dialysis for 4 years. I was on dialysis for 4 years, and we'll get into the type of dialysis I was on. But I finally received a kidney transplant. Thank God. Hallelujah for that. And so I'm 1 year in. And so I'm doing well. And we'll talk more about transplant and my dialysis journey. But kidney transplant is not a cure. That's the main thing I wanted to get into. It's not a cure. It is a treatment. It is a form of treatment. Okay. They have not found a cure for kidney disease. All right. And the last one is medical management. So you see a box of pills there with medication. So medical management, that is a form of treatment for kidney failure. What is dialysis? Okay, everybody heard of dialysis or may have a family member or a friend that's on dialysis. It's a treatment to clean the blood when the kidneys are not able to, when they are in complete failure. It does some of the work, but not all of the work, because we learned in the first installment that the kidneys, they do a myriad of things. They have multiple functions. The kidneys do, but they only do 10 to 15% of what dialysis does. It only does 10 to 15% of what a normal kidney does. And there are two types of dialysis. I know many individuals may not have known about the different types of dialysis. There's two types. There's hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis, P or PD, we like to call it. I actually started off in peritoneal dialysis, PD, and we'll learn more about what PD is and how it works. It's quite interesting when we talk about peritoneal dialysis. And you can see this chart right here. So dialysis does very little as it relates to mirroring what your kidneys and what the kidney functions actually do. Okay. All right. So let's talk about hemodialysis. It uses a machine to clean your blood. That's all it does, is clean your blood, gets rid of the waste, the toxins, and also the fluid, the extra fluid that your body retains when you have kidney failure. It can be done in a center, a dialysis center, or at home. There is a machine, yes, that dialysis patients can have at home. They can do it during the day or at night. In center treatments, it usually happens three days out of the week. Either you're on Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule, or TTS, they call it, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday schedule. Usually patients are on, the max is 4 hours for each time you're getting treatment during dialysis. And in this diagram, I hope you all can see this. The way the machine is set up, you do have your dialyzer. It's the filter. Most machines don't look like this anymore. That filter is usually on the bottom of the machine, and there's different types of filters. I learned that during the course of my dialysis, or my time on dialysis. There's different types that will filter more. And some patients, your body can't really take a whole lot pulling off at one time, but that's another story. You got tubes, and also there are 2 needles. And I've talked about this before with the needles, the gauge size. That's in one of the podcasts we talk about dialysis and the getting stuck. Now the at-home hemo, patients are trained to actually stick themselves. I wasn't with that. I just wasn't with that. So I went into the center. I did in center, so I let the professionals do that. Yeah, it was bad enough I couldn't stand dialysis and getting stuck. That was the most dreadful part of dialysis for me. Some other patients, there's other things, but that's another story. That's another podcast, I guess. But this is hemodialysis and how it works. My time was, I started like 4, sometimes you can go above 4 hours each treatment. It's not just 4 hours. Some people are on 4.5, 4:45. I was started off on 4:45 when I first began treatment, and then they decreased it by 15 minutes when my numbers were consistent, and my nephrologist, the doctor, came by and thought that I was doing pretty well. And my clearance, that's another thing. It's a test, like when they do labs, it's a test called the KT over V, how much you're clearing, meaning clearing your toxins, the fluids, and so on and so forth. If you're doing very, very well and at a consistent basis, they will decrease your time. You don't need as much time getting dialysis treatment there. So I wanted to share, yes, it is real. I was on dialysis. My center, there's only 2 centers I know of. When I say center, big centers, like these big name brand centers or franchise centers. You have DaVita, and you also have Fresenius. But I was at a DaVita center 3 days out the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I started because you got to have some type of access, and I hope you all can see it. I'm not sure who's viewing, who's out there viewing. If you can see it, let me know. This is interactive. Um, you can ask questions or just share a comment if you like. However, you see, I have a catheter. They call it a perm cath in my chest area. And that was the first initial access point. And as you can see, there is a send, here's the blue and a red. And so there's a send and then a receive. So this catheter enables access to get to your main artery, sends the blood to the machine, and then when the machine, after it filters all of the waste and removes the fluid, it sends it back. I believe it's, I'm trying to remember the arteria and I forget the other one. I used to hear them talk about it all the time. And so that's me. That was the early stages of dialysis here with the catheter in my chest. And here you see me. Well, I'll come down below that. I'm laying there in my chair, getting my dialysis treatment. You see the machine there, and they keep a blood pressure cuff on you to monitor your blood pressure while you're on the machine, because this machine is doing its job and it's just doing that job. That's all it's going to do. They punch in the numbers. The machine doesn't care what's happening with you. Now, it'll show alarms if there's some abnormalities there. However, it's going to do its job. So they have to monitor your blood pressure. Sometimes patients, and this has happened to me a few times, where my blood pressure just dropped. I mean, it doesn't increase, it drops. And it drops suddenly. And that is the worst feeling in the world. So, if you know of a dialysis patient, hey, pray for them, keep them lifted up, give them a break, because that right there is, it's actually, it's doing a good thing to keep you alive. However, it's also trauma to, physical trauma to your body. You see me there with a blanket. It's not that it's cold in the center, but you can develop anemia. So you see dialysis patients, when they go into dialysis, they have a blanket or quilt with them to keep them warm while they're having their treatment. You also see me there. I'm actually done. Now this access that I have now is to the 2 needles. I switched to the 2 needles right there. And so I'm done. My technician or my nurse, she's wearing a blue coat. So she's an RN. Sherry, shout out to Sherry right there. Excellent nurse. She knew her stuff. Very nice, very nice. I was done. I was actually holding my access when they pulled the needles, because you can tend to bleed. And so I was done. She was done. She was cleaning the machine. So after every treatment, and when a dialysis patient is done with their treatment, they have to clean and wipe down those machines and get it ready for the next patient that's coming in. So that is policy. That is policy, because you can't cross contaminate. Makes sense? All right. Andrella Woody says absolutely. Thank you for joining. Also, you do see me there with my charge nurse, and Andrea, Michelle, who was the manager, she was also a nurse. And Leslie, who was my dietitian. Awesome people, awesome people. So yeah, it was real. It was real for me. I was a dialysis patient, so it was real. So I thank God I'm out. I'm out of there. I'm done. I'm out of there. All right, moving right along. Home dialysis. Uh Home hemodialysis. So it usually happens 6 days per week, for about 2 to 3 hours each time. It's not so long, because you're at home and you can do it as many times as you want. So the time is not as long. Um, they said you may be able to be less, restricted with your meal plan, because you're doing dialysis so often, every day. You're at home, with the hemo. Again, with home hemodialysis, you are sticking yourself with these needles. They train you to do this. And when they see that you are fit and you're ready, then they'll release you. They'll come in your home and set things up and so on and so forth. You don't have to go into the center. You have more flexibility with your schedule. You can keep working if that's what you're able to do. I know for me, because of the way dialysis made me feel, I was so fatigued afterwards. I was unable to work, and plus of the time and all of that, all those other things. So I had to stop working. You can travel, if you plan for it. Also, with going in the center, you can travel as well, because there are dialysis centers all over the United States and all over the world. It just has to be strategically planned out. Okay, so this is home hemodialysis. All right, so let's get into the other type of dialysis: peritoneal or PD, as we like to call it. This is what I started off with. When I first started dialysis, I started here. Peritoneal PD. It's done at home. It's not done in the center. It doesn't involve blood. So hemo means blood, right? Hemo means blood, and so or hemoglobin, right? That's in the blood. However, PD does not uh, involve blood. Believe it or not, it doesn't. And the reason why I started off here, because at the time, we were caregivers to my father-in-law at the time. He was on dialysis. He was on hemo. And so when I would have to pick him up from the center, I knew how he felt. I knew what it was like. He used to bleed a lot. But he was different. And rest in peace, Pops. But I didn't want to start there. So when they informed me about PD and I can do it at home, I was like, okay, let's try this. It doesn't involve blood. So it uses a fluid that is put in your belly. There's a peritoneal cavity that you have in your belly. Everyone has this. And then it removed to clean your blood. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. Can be done in any clean, dry place. It's a whole lot of restrictions with this one now. So be careful with this. Andrella, Coach Woody, she says my church member will be checking out this option. That's cool. Great. They have to weigh the pros and cons with it all. I know some people who do very, very well with peritoneal. For me, it didn't work out too well. The other thing that they don't tell you with this diagram, is that it can be done this way, like with the bag and the fluid and it going into your peritoneal, then it sits there and waits, and all of the toxins actually flow through your peritoneal cavity, and they go into the liquid where the liquid is stored, and then it is drained. So you see the liquid coming in through the catheter, because there's a catheter in your abdomen. They place a catheter in your abdomen. Yes, I had one of those. No one can really be in the room with you. You can't have any pets. You got to close all the windows. Yeah, it's really, really strict. And it's the training is very detailed, very detailed. And then it's drained. It can be done at home, work, or school. I don't suggest those things. However, it can be done there. But again, you're secluded and isolated. You have to be. And those individuals who come in to train you, those nurses and technicians, they will come to those facilities, your home, to make sure that you're in an environment where this can take place. It can be done continuously throughout the day or night. There's a cycler machine that they're not showing here in this slide, but there is a cycler machine that does the same thing. You still have the catheter in your abdomen. Erica Taylor, we shouting her out. We're praying for you, Erica, that you will make the right decisions and ask as many questions as you possibly can. Reach out to us here at the Get in Position Foundation. If you have any questions or concerns, we are here to support you. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So that's peritoneal. For me, and the reason why it didn't work for me, if you have those questions, if somebody's thinking that, I just wasn't satisfied with the numbers. And keep in mind, it's individually based. It's individually based. Again, I know some individuals who did really, really well, and they loved PD, peritoneal dialysis. I just wasn't satisfied. I was uncomfortable dealing with all of the supplies that you will need. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. We can get into that, but that's what I was dealing with. All right. And decided to make the transition over to hemo. It took less time for me. All right. So that was my reason for coming off of peritoneal. I didn't like my numbers, my lab results. I was a real stickler about my numbers and achieving those goals in my life. So again, I was getting in position, right? I was getting in position as it related to my health. So you all have to do the same. All right. The next form of treatment, again, kidney transplant is not a cure. I can't stress that enough. A kidney transplant is not a cure. It is a form of treatment. So today, folks, yes, I am a kidney transplant recipient. I'm happy about it. Thank God that I was able to get a kidney. However, I still have chronic kidney disease. However, all you need is one healthy kidney in order to survive, to live. Also, they have not found a cure. They have not found a cure for kidney disease. Okay, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. There is no cure. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is a form of treatment because we're talking about treatments for kidney failure. So kidney transplant is surgery where doctors, they put a healthy kidney from someone else into a person with kidney failure. the best treatment option, because it raises chances for living a longer and healthier life. That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. Um, Also keep in mind, you guys still got to stay in the ring and stay in the fight, because even receiving a transplant requires work. It requires you to do the right things, to do the proper things. Even being considered a good candidate for evaluation is a process. Not trying to scare you anyone off, but I'm just letting you know, because I went through it. After a kidney transplant, you must take immunosuppressants. Yes, medicines for as long as the transplant lasts. So you'll be on it for the rest of your life. I'll be taking immunosuppressants because the reason being, folks, that kidney is a foreign object in your body. So your body, the body itself is just amazing, right? God is just God. He he did an amazing work when he put us together. And the way it's designed is to ward off certain things, um diseases, infections. And so your body knows, okay, this is foreign. What is this? Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of it. So the immunosuppressant medications suppress your immune system, because your immune system is your protection. It's your bodyguard, and it protects you against infections and stuff like that. So they want to suppress your immune system so the body does not reject this healthy kidney that's going to help you live a little longer. And that's why you will have to be on it. Watch out with the herbs, supplemental herbs. And it's always consult. And this what I'm saying this for and to those individuals who are looking to receive a kidney transplant. Okay? So you still have to be cautious, especially if you're fresh out of surgery. Okay? Thank God you got it, so on and so forth. However, you still have to do the right things, right? Once you get in position, you got to stay in position. All right? Makes sense? All right. So that's kidney transplant. And I wanted to share with you all my journey through the kidney transplant. After receiving a transplant, yes, that's me. I hope you all can see this. That's me. They want you up and walking, right? Once this is like the day after surgery. The day after surgery for me. That's the nurse supporting me. These were some wonderful people there at MUSC in Charleston, South Carolina. Shout out to them. Um, that's me ringing the bell. Yeah, yeah. Good time, good time. And you have to stay close to your transplant center, wherever you're transplanted. So you'll remain in the hospital for about maybe 3 to 4 days, depending on how the transplanted kidney is operating. They're gonna watch and look at your numbers, like like not just the day, but throughout the day. They're looking at those numbers. They're taking blood, and they're looking at the results. They're trying to make sure that that kidney is doing what it's supposed to do. Because oftentimes, sometimes that the kidney, once it's transplanted, it doesn't, what they say, the terminology is wake up immediately. It doesn't wake up immediately. Again, it's an object in a foreign place. It has to circulate. The blood has to go through, and it's trying to wake up. So sometimes they're like, "Uh-oh, wait a minute. Okay. Uh, thank God the kidney that I received for my transplant, it woke up immediately, right away. It started doing what it was supposed to do. And the doctors came in and said, okay, we love the numbers. We love where they're going. And so um we you do not need dialysis any longer. You don't need dialysis any longer. And so some people do. So if you're looking to get a kidney transplant, and you get your surgery, have your surgery, they call you, that's good, that's great. But you may hear, wait a minute, hold on, we need to send you down to dialysis. Don't be alarmed. You want to say, okay, cool, good. Let's wake this puppy up so it can, it's like, let's shock it so it can wake up and do what it's supposed to do. So that some of those things are common. It doesn't happen all of the time, but if you hear it, don't get worried. Don't get worried. Don't freak out. Don't say, well, I got a transplant. What happened? They're just trying to wake it up. And they will explain it to you. They will explain it to you. So yeah, don't be too alarmed. You see me there with my nurse. I'm in my hospital bed. They gave me a little pillow. Y'all see the pillow behind me, my kidney pillow. They all signed it. This picture here is me. And what I said before was you have to stay very close, because I was discharged like I stayed for 3 days in the hospital. I stayed for 3 days in the hospital. Then I was discharged because they need that bed. They need the room. But I went to a local, because I live in Atlanta. So my transplant facility was about 5 hours away, Charleston, South Carolina. Beautiful, great food out there, folks. MUSC. So I stayed at a hotel, had a kitchen, a suite, whatever. What else? So I had to stay close. However, MUSC, and this is the other thing I learned, that not all transplant facilities are created equal. They don't do the same thing. Okay. Now, in this pic, you see me hugging someone. She's laughing. Her name is Kelly. She's a nurse. She's a post-transplant nurse that comes to the specific hotel where the transplant recipients, those who just received the transplant, she comes to see about you. And that's Kelly. That's my wife, Rose. And Kelly came by every night to make sure my numbers were looking good. She checked my blood pressure. And also, Kelly taught me how to do my medications, how to do, and because I had so many pills that I had to organize. And so you kind of got ahead of me, Coach Woody. Yep. I will discuss that. I will talk about that. And thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Kelly came by and she took so good care of us, or me, just teaching me things, training me. She would do it one time and then she said, okay, your turn, you do it. And they had it all numbered out, each medication that I was taking. And for starters, I was taking like over 20. Well, I'll take that back. Well, I would say over 20 pills. Now, it was like, I would say, I'm trying to remember, it was like maybe 15 medications, different medications. like 15 different medications. However, I would take maybe 2 or 3 pills of one medication and 2 and 3 pills of the other medication. So I'm taking like over 20 pills. And sometimes, well, oftentimes it's twice a day. Twice a day. So that should give you an idea of what post-transplant is like. Okay? Of what post-transplant is like. What else Coach Woody mentioned? I'm glad you mentioned that it is a treatment that you still have it's CKD. Yeah, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Yeah, it's a form of treatment. And what you and these individuals here, they're part of my post-transplant surgery team. Okay. Morgan, Dr. Morgan, wonderful. Love her. Shout out to her. Dr. Jackson, shout out to her, my nephrologist. She was my nephrologist. So yeah, love these individuals. And I would have to go back. I would go back and forth. Me and my wife would go back and forth to Charleston, South Carolina. We go back and forth to Charleston for checkups, to see how I'm functioning and how the kidneys doing, how I'm doing, how I'm keeping up with my medications, what my numbers are looking like. And your numbers will fluctuate for about a full year. So don't get alarmed. I used to freak out. And Dr. Jackson told me, she said, Craig, relax. It's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen. But yeah. Coach Woody says, how did it feel to urinate? I'm glad you mentioned that because most individuals don't understand when you're on dialysis and have kidney failure and you're on dialysis, most dialysis patients, because your kidneys have failed and they do not function anymore, that machine is doing the work. You do not produce urine. That's right, folks. You do not produce urine. Your body is retaining on your off days. So my dialysis schedule was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? Tuesday, Thursday, of course, it's an off day. So I'm eating, I'm drinking. Keep in mind, I'm restricted to only 32 ounces of fluid because my kidneys have failed. They're no longer functioning. Yeah, my body's retaining fluid. My body is retaining fluid. Okay. I am no longer urinating. I'll tell you one thing. When that kidney started working, and what happens, guys, is that your bladder will shrink. That's correct. Your bladder will shrink because there is no more fluid going to that bladder. So it was weird to answer Coach Woody's question. How did it feel to urinate? It was very weird. Psychologically, I had to get used to that again. Psychologically, I had to get used to that again. And I was going like every it was crazy. And the pressure on my bladder because it was shrinking. I have a good friend of mine, a buddy of mine who received his kidney transplant a year before me. Shout out to Jay Williams, who was actually a board member on the board at the Getting Position Foundation. Shout out to Jay. Jay informed me that his doctor said that his bladder shrunk to the size of a quarter. Yes, a quarter. You know the coin? Yeah, a quarter. So you go in every 3-4 minutes and it's like, wow, I got to get used to this. Wow. Because I'm used to not going. I keep hitting this mic stand. Yep, that is correct. That is correct. Shout out to Cuzzo. Sharon, thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. She says, what? Yep, that is correct. That is correct. Coach Woody says, my friend has been transplanted. His kidney functions at 50%. Will that be the highest level? No, no, that will not be the highest level. It takes time. It takes time. It takes time, and it depends upon the individual. It depends upon the individuals. One thing we have to know, and one of the things that I'm advocating for with the Get in Position Foundation, is that oftentimes you'll see, and I have experienced this, that they put us all in a box, but we're not all the same. We're not all the same, especially when I was on dialysis. We are not built the same. Think about it. Each and every person walking the planet has their own identity on each finger. Think about that. Wow. God is amazing. And we have a fingerprint, right? All different. No one has the same fingerprint. So that's not the highest. No. So now there might be some other things going on, because we learned during these education sessions that and this will come up later. The number one cause, the number 1 and 2 cause of CKD is diabetes and high blood pressure. So depending on if something else is going on medically, may be causing that. And again, if they're fresh, as far as a new kidney transplant recipient, remember, your numbers, your lab numbers, they will fluctuate, go up and down for a year or more, depending on how you are treating yourself, and doing what you are supposed to be doing, as a transplant recipient. Okay. So that 50%, it may not stay there, but it will climb if your friend is doing what they're supposed to be doing, and taking their medications the times they are supposed to be taking them. So those things are very, very important. Okay. And also having patience as well. All right. Okay. All right, folks. Types of transplants. There are different types of transplants. You have a living donor transplant. What is this? This is a healthy kidney comes from someone who is living, right? This may be a family member, a friend. It may be a complete stranger. Once you put the news out there, once you put it out there and say, hey, I'm looking for a donor. A living donor, yes, that recipient will have between 15 to 20 years. That's the data that's been collected. I say it could be longer. It could be longer. Living donor, paired kidney donation. Now, this is very unique. This is very unique, right? So what does a paired kidney donation, or it's also called a paired exchange? What type of transplant is this? A paired exchange or paired kidney donation is this. Let's say, for instance, you have a living donor, family member, a sister, sibling, a parent, a cousin, anyone, in-law, someone who wants to donate their kidney to you, who's gracious enough and willing to donate their kidney to you. Now, keep in mind, folks, keep in mind, you yourself as the patient have to be deemed a good candidate, to receive a kidney transplant. That's number one, right? There's an evaluation process that happens. So is the same for a donor. There's an evaluation process. So, and you would think a sibling, a family member may be a match for you. That is not always the case, right? That's not always the case. So with paired kidney donation or paired exchange, that particular program, and each transplant facility has this program. It is available to everyone. So they will do an evaluation on that donor to see if they are a match for you. Now, with this program, if you are not a match, what can happen is, if the donor is willing to do this, they can say, all right, I will donate my kidney to someone else in exchange for another kidney for my loved one, my family member. That's the paired kidney donation program. Okay? But they have to be willing, the donor has to be willing to do that. Some people, it's like, no, I want my loved one to get mine. I don't want nobody else to get mine. But you have to keep in mind that your loved one who needs the kidney, they're ready to get out of that dialysis center. They need it. They're ready to start their new lease on life. And it gets to a point at times, trust me, I know it, I've been there, that's like, I don't care who give me the kidney, just give me the kidney. Right? And so that loved one may say, hey, I'm willing to do this so my family member or my friend, my best friend, or another person, another life can live, right? So that's that program. Also, too, it's coming from a living donor, so you still get the 15 to 20 years. And then there's a deceased donor transplant. Healthy kidney comes from someone who has just recently passed away. I received a deceased donor's, he was considered deceased. And this is my thing. Now I don't know who my donor, I don't know them. They don't give you their names. That's against policy. They cannot do that. However, I inquired about whether my donor was, because I knew this information, that you get more mileage out of a living donor's kidney. So I inquired when I received the call that MUSC had a kidney for me. I inquired, was it a living donor or a deceased donor? And so it was explained to me this way. The individual was a young man, 35 years old. He was brain dead. However, his heart was still pumping. Right? So medically, in the medical world, again, disclaimer, I am not a healthcare professional. I am a experienced professional. Let me put that out there, that disclaimer. But in the medical world, if he was brain dead, he's considered deceased. Now, in Coach Craig's world, he's living. He's living because his heart was pumping. Blood was still pumping. Blood was still pumping to that organ. That's how I see it. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. So they say that with a deceased donor transplant, you get 10 to 15 years. All right. That's just the study. Those are the numbers. It is not necessarily true for you or me. However, that's what we have to project because this is credited information. Who we got out there? Let's see. Coach Woody says, what holds people back from stepping up to donate a kidney? Um, I will say this to that question, Coach Woody, is that people don't have enough information. Um, they're not educated enough on uh, how the process works and what they will actually um, will be doing for another life. Cousin Sharon says the fear. I'm thinking that's her response to your question, and that's true. That is the foundational thing right there. Fear always it causes paralysis. Fear causes paralysis. So yeah, and that's why for this month we were doing, and I'll do more of this, educating on what kidney disease is and how the kidneys function. When we did our first installment, knowing what the kidneys are and where they're located, we talked about that. There was a diagram there. And I heard someone say, and I mentioned this in that first session, education session. I heard someone say at an event, a doctor said, "You have a pair, so you can share." So when you think about it that way, and you're educated on it, it starts to make sense. And I'll go a step further. When I was dealing with it and getting evaluated, I was actually on the list. I was actually, Cousin Sharon says, okay, there you go. I was getting evaluated. I was actually listed on three wait lists or at 3 different transplant facilities to better my chances of receiving a call. And I was working on my 4th transplant facility. And so thank you, Coach Woody. Thank you from me. We need more education from you. We'll work on it. Maybe we can work on the curriculum. How about that? Think about that. Let's do it. However, the one of the doctors asked this question to me. Craig, have you asked your family, anyone in your family, if they are willing to be a living donor? And I immediately interrupted him. I said, no, I don't want to do that. I said, you know what, my daughter was upset with me. Why aren't we getting tested? And I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. And he said, Craig, hold on. He said, he said, look at it this way. Do not make the decision for them, but let them make the decision. And he blew my mind when he said that. He helped me to see it from a different perspective, and I didn't realize that I was making decisions for other people. And also too, to go along with that question, the other side of that, Coach Woody, is that we don't ask. We have to ask. Okay? If you don't ask, you will not receive. So that's another thing that we have to actually get over. All right, moving right along. The third type of treatment is medical management. Medical management, also called supportive care or comfort care. That's right, Coach Whitty. The big ask. The big ask. You got to ask. And also to Sharon's point, fear is on both sides, because it was for me. And it paralyzed me, and it made me make a decision for somebody else, somebody that I didn't even ask. How about that? So, yes. So the third treatment for kidney disease is medical management. Again, also called supportive care or comfort care. Uses medicines to treat the symptoms of kidney failure without dialysis or a kidney transplant. And keep in mind, folks, keep in mind that this is complete kidney failure. This is not moderate or mild symptoms. Hey, Ronnie, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Hello. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. And it can help you live comfortably, but it will not keep you alive. This treatment type is usually for older people, seniors, and they have a few illnesses going on. Some people you okay, you get a pass. You get a pass. Ronnie. You get a pass. No detention for you. You can always go back and see this. You of all people get a pass from me. Absolutely. Yes. If you have, because usually kidney failure, it derives from other things, other ailments that usually happens. Again, the number 1 and 2 cause for kidney disease is diabetes and high blood pressure. Right? There's some other things too, congestive heart failure as well. So this is the last. Hey, sister. Greetings, everyone, she says. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. So that is the last and final treatment type for kidney failure. Keep in mind, it's failure, kidney failure. All right. So we're going to do a little exercise. Hey, this is where the fun happens. This is the fun part. All right. So activity, match the treatment to its description. So we just learned about medical management. So which letter do you all think goes to medical management? Which letter? While you think about that, let's look at some comments here. Coach Woody says there are many scammers misleading people with false hopes about kidney cleansers and similar products. That is correct. That is correct. And thank you for mentioning that, Coach Woody. Yes, there's so much stuff out there on the internet. Oh, just take this. Just take that. And it'll clean your kidneys and it'll reverse the damage. That is incorrect, folks. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Okay. Again, we mentioned early on that there is no cure. There's no cure for kidney disease. Now, I will say this. The early stages, we're talking about failure here. We're talking about failure. When the kidneys are no longer functioning, there's no coming back from that. Okay? There is no coming back from that, folks. So there's no special mushroom out there that's going to bring it back. No special mushroom tea. All right? Okay? And it's serious. I may, chuckle about it, but it's very serious. And there are scammers out there. All right, we got some answers. We got some answers. Cousin Sharon was the first C. Coach Woody C. Cat C. All right. There we go. C, treats the symptoms of kidney failure. What about dialysis? What about dialysis? What about dialysis? All right, it's coming in. They coming in. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right. Catherine Harvey, B, was the first one to answer that. Sharon, B. Coach Woody, B. Great job, everyone. Great job, everyone. We need some emojis on this joint. Let's give y'all some hand claps of praise. Oh, okay. All right. Ronnie, what you saying? ABC? 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 All right. And last but not least, dialysis is a treatment that cleans your blood. All right. Thank you guys. Yes, you guys. Yes, the applause. Good job. Good job, everyone. Good job. Thank y'all for that. I'm doing like 8 different things at the same time, right? And of course, kidney transplant is it's a surgery to get a healthy kidney. So the answers are as follows: CBA. Awesome job. All right. Now this one right here. Let's see. All right. If anybody answers any of the blanks correctly, you win a prize. Okay. All right. So let's get started. The summary. This is a summary. Here's the summary. When your kidneys are permanently damaged and do not work as well as they should, it is called, what is it called? What is it called? When your kidneys are permanently damaged and do not work as well as they should, it is called. All right. Got one answer in. Before I show the answers, I'm waiting for everybody to answer. Okay. All right. Coach Woody said renal failure. Ronnie says kidney failure. Sharon says CKD, which is short for chronic kidney disease. And let me see. Cat Harvey says kidney failure. Sharon, okay, kidney disease. All right, we'll just hold that. We'll just hold that. We'll hold it. Won't give you the answers yet. We'll finish all the bullet points. All right. The most common causes of CKD are the most common causes of CKD are hold on before I said it. But Cat Harvey says you can't go back, cousin. Talking about Sharon. You can't go back. Ah. Okay, listen to the question. Listen to the question. I'm going to say the question again. The most common causes of CKD are. Cat Harvey still getting on cousin Sharon. She said one answer. Cousin Sharon says it's the same answer. Family, right? Family, right? Okay. Any more? I'm waiting. I know, folks, there is a delay between me and you all. I know it. So I'm just waiting. We got time. I'm just waiting. The internet police not coming. The internet police are not coming. All right, waiting for some more. We done? Okay. The most common causes of CKD are. All right. So, all right, let's move forward. Let's move forward. I'm gonna wait. Give a little second. Give a little second. I'll sip on the rest of my coffee. Yeah, I'm still drinking coffee afternoon. I know y'all scratching your head like causes. What? All right, so let's start revealing some answers. Coach Woody was the first to answer that question. And she says diabetes. Then Sharon says diabetes. Then Coach Woody says high blood pressure. Okay. All right. We're going to move on to the next bullet point. Ask, this like Family Feud. Ask your doctor blank about blank. This is the only way to know how well your kidneys are working. Ask your doctor about blank. This is the only way to know how well your kidneys are working. Ask your doctor about blank. This is the only way to know how well your kidneys are working. Okay. Sharon says, gotta be blood work of some sort. Cat Harvey says, I don't know. I got nothing. Coach Woody says, testing. And she also says kidney function testing. Okay. Okay. All right. Moving right on. We will reveal the answers shortly. This is the last bullet point. You can prevent CKD and kidney failure by blank, blank, blank. Cat Harvey said, great. Some very good answers. Yeah. Good answers. Last bullet point, folks. You can prevent CKD and kidney failure by blank, blank, and blank. All right. And see, part of this too is from our other sessions, previous sessions that we've had, because we learned about all this stuff. But let's give it a try. What naturally or comes to your mind to prevent chronic kidney disease and kidney failure by doing what? Sharon is thinking. No, everybody's thinking. All right. Okay. Okay. Diet, exercise, and seeing your doctor on a regular basis. That's a good answer. Good answer. Anyone else want to give it a shot? You can prevent CKD and kidney failure by let's see. Okay. Ronnie says control your blood pressure. Diet. Another great answer. Outstanding. Sharon, lifestyle choices. Great answer. Exercise, healthy eating. Good answer. And also, routine checkup. That's a good one. Don't smoke. Yes. We talked about that in the I believe, was that chapter 3? Yes. Chapter 3. No, chapter 2. Don't smoke. Do not smoke. That's a good one. All right, let's go on and reveal the answers here. Aha. When your kidneys are permanently damaged and do not work as well as they should, it is called chronic kidney disease, or other known as CKD. CKD. Correct. Whoever said that, if you said that, that is correct. The most common causes, remember, it's causes, so it's multiple things, of CKD are diabetes and high blood pressure. That's the 1 and 2 top causes for chronic kidney disease. Symptoms of CKD usually do not appear until later stages or kidney failure. Yay, Sharon. Awesome. I love it. Ask your doctor about tests for kidney disease. Tests. If you said anything, testing, doing blood work, that's a test. Yeah. Ask your doctor about that. Always ask your doctor about that. And lastly, let me see if I can fix this. Hopefully you guys can see that. My picture was there blocking it. You can prevent CKD and kidney failure by controlling diabetes and high blood pressure, eating healthy, being active. If you all said anything around those things, congratulations. You answered it correctly. Woohoo! Yay! What I can do here? Let me see. I got something here. I got some type of sound effect, something like that. Something going on here. We go. Woo! Yes. Awesome. Congratulations. Great job, everyone. Woo, woo. Let's see. Okay, Coach, I see you. Yes. We all get a prize. Yes, and you guys just heard it. You just heard the prize. The prize was a standing, a standing ovation and applause. That is the prize. Congratulations, and you get it again. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Pat yourself on the back. Awesome. You all. Yeah. My sister would be like, yeah, okay. I never told you what the prize was, but it's a prize. And the best prize is a surprise. The best prize is a surprise. Awesome. Great job, everyone. Great job. Pat yourself on the back. These are the references. So this is, of course, credible information. Again, this education session is sponsored by the American Kidney Fund. Also, the Get in Position Foundation, Inc., as well as the Kidney Corner podcast. Please go and subscribe to that. I'll leave this up. Please scan that QR code and take a moment, complete our quiz and evaluation form. Coach Woody knows about this. She's also a kidney health coach, certified kidney health coach, along with myself and the American Kidney Fund. So we would greatly appreciate you all just scanning that with your phones. You might be on your phone watching this presentation, but I will leave it up. Maybe you can take a picture of it. Thank you, cousin. I hope you all learned a lot with this information. Again, this is the last installment as we wind down National Kidney Month, the month of March. I know out in Birmingham, Alabama, Coach Woody, tell us what you got going on out there in Alabama. If you let us know what you got going on for some of the activities that you're doing out there in Birmingham, Alabama, that would be great. I hope you guys got that QR code. Let me know. I hope she's still on. I know there's a delay, so I will be patient. And while we waiting for her to respond, okay. You said you have Bowling Green on Thursday. And I understand what the green, because for National Kidney Month, the color is green. You see my green, it's a little fluorescent green, but my ribbon, we wear green ribbons. We wear green ribbons. You got hiking for the cause as well. So bowling on Thursday is for the cause, for kidney awareness, for the cause. Awesome, awesome. And hiking. Okay. All right. All right. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Again, please share this video. It will be available for replay once we end it here on our YouTube channel and also on my Facebook page. If you join on my Facebook page, it will be there for replay. Share this link for anyone you may know who's dealing with kidney disease, on dialysis, seeking a kidney transplant. Again, we learned about what those things are. Hiking is Saturday, this Saturday, the 29th. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, please share, let individuals know about our YouTube channel and also the Kidney Corner podcast. We have a great series going on. Actually, Coach Woody, I don't have your picture here, but hold on one second. Hold on one second. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Because Coach Woody, you blessed us on the podcast. And yeah, there is Coach Woody. She was a caregiver, and you gotta listen. You gotta listen to her episode. Wow, what an amazing story as a caregiver. She leaves us a lot of great nuggets on that particular podcast. And thank you so much again, Coach Woody, for being our special guest for that very first episode for season 2, 2025. You guys can go and view that episode on our YouTube channel at Get in Position 21. Also, we are excited. We are excited to announce that we are streaming the audio version of our podcast on the Apple Podcast app. All right. Gotta go back to work. Great job. Love you. Like, God bless you all. All right. All right. Awesome. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sis. Thank you, sis. But go back and listen to that episode with Coach Woody. Great episode. G Coba Tally. Sharon says, love you, cousin. Yes. Jacoba Tally. He is a kidney patient, also a dialysis patient. He is actually one of my mentees. He's a mentee of the Get in Position Foundation. He appeared on the Kidney Corner podcast. His episode is amazing. Each of us all have our individual stories. But this series is really something to hear. I'm so sorry to hear that. And it'll make sense once you go and listen to the podcast. What's streaming now, it was released yesterday. Lavita Barnes, she is also a kidney patient and a mentee of the Get in Position Foundation. Now she has stage 3. She has been diagnosed with stage 3 kidney disease. And coming up next Monday, we are releasing a phenomenal young lady, Jasmine Sullivan. Jasmine Sullivan. I'm thinking about the the singer, but Jasmine Evans, the future Dr. Jasmine Evans, the epitome of an advocate. She's also a kidney transplant recipient. We received our transplants in the same year, 2023. So we're excited about that. We're excited for her and the release of this episode 5, which will air Monday of next week. All right. So again, thank you all for joining us. I had fun. Thank you all for the support and the love. Ronnie, thank you for joining. Coach Woody, thanks for the support as always. Yes. Thank you. So again, folks, this is Craig, and your kidney health coach with the American Kidney Fund, also founder and executive director of the Get in Position Foundation, Inc. Listen, I had a ball. This is our last installment. Always go back and take a listen if you missed anything. But again, as always, we like to say, get in position as it relates to your health. See you guys soon. Take care and have a wonderful day.